Tonight, we bring you the story of Aduke, a woman so loved, so beautiful, yet bound by the unseen changes of karma. Her journey reminds us that in this life, we may not have it all, and some depths go deeper than memory. Long ago, in the ancient kingdom of Oyo, there lived a woman whose beauty could still silence the room, even if her name is only whispered today. Aduke. She was a woman of grace, soft-spoken, respectful, and calm like still water. The others said her voice could calm a crying child, and her eyes could melt the hearts of even the fairest warrior. She was not only beautiful but also kind, and so it was not surprising that many powerful men in the land sought her hand in marriage. Chiefs, herbalists, warriors, kings, returning from the forest with leopard skin, even the priest from the royal household. But Aduke had already given her heart to just one man, Akonji, the great hunter. His reputation stretched beyond Oyo. He was strong, wise, and walked with the confidence of a man who understands the forest and its many secrets. He had once rescued a lion to protect his village. Some said he had the favor of Ogun himself. Ogunlakaye was always with him. Together, Aduke and Akonji were admired, heavy, and blessed. Beneath the ancient Iroko tree, they swore to spend forever together. Their marriage was full of laughter, shared meals under the moonlight, gentle teasing in the evenings, and the warmth of a love many could only dream of. But the joy began to fade with time, and not because of their love change, but because their home remained silent. No child came. At first, Aduke tried to ignore the whispers of the woman at the stream and the pitiful glances from the market woman. Akonji reassured her constantly, saying, "The girls will bless her son." "Aduke, I believe," but season passed. The years, and the silence grew heavier. Aduke began to visit herbalists, bathe in scared rivers, drink bitter concoctions. In the early hours before the sun rose, she lighted candles before Ifa and gave offering wrapped in white cloth. She begged, she wept, she waited. One day, an old Ifa priest looked into the scared upon Ifa and said to her in a voice that shook the walls of her spirit, "Aduke, this is not punishment. This is return. In a past life, you took from a woman the very thing you now long for. You harried her, and with your words, you caused her womb to close. That woman cried to Eledumare under the same sky you now pray beneath. In this life, you cannot have all things. You will only have some." Aduke left the priest's hut without speaking. Her heart heavy, her feet were light, but her heart bared the truth of her karma. She returned home and smiled when Akonji entered, but her eyes were no longer sparkled. She cooked his meal, cleaned their home, and still made his favorite paimon stew. But her laughter faded like the whole dye from one cloth. And then, as if fate could no longer wait, Akonji family, especially his mother, began to whisper out louder, "Akonji, you need a child to carry your name." Aduke has tried, yes, but it has been 5 years. Is this how the great hunter earned his name with silence? Akonji resisted. He loved Aduke with all of him, but he was also a man shaped by tradition. Eventually, with tears in his eyes, he married another. Her name was Aduke. She was sweet, young, and fertile. Within a year, she gave birth to a healthy baby boy. Akonji cried with joy that night. Aduke watched him from the shadows of the compound as he lifted the child and shouted, "Thanks to God, thanks to the wishers, thanks to Eledumare." In the years that followed, Aduke bore him 2 more children, daughters this time. Their home was filled with laughter of children, the clatters of small feet, and the warm scent of baby oils and herbs. But for Aduke, the silence returned, worse than before. Akoji tried to balance the weight of two homes. He bought Aduke fine wrappers, sweet things from the market, and sat with her to remind her, I still love him. But she could see it in his eyes. The shift. His soul now belonged to the children and their mother. And so each night, Aduke lay on her mat, staring at the thatched ceiling, her heart echoing a single thought. I know those eyes. He does not love me anymore. Her dreams become filled with visions of water, rivers, streams, whispering voices. Aduke, máa bọ̀ wálé, calling her home. She would wake up in the middle of the night with tears soaking her wrappers. One morning, before the rooster crowed, she wrapped herself in white and walked through the forest. The wind whispered through the leaves like voices from a forgotten world. She reached the river, the one her mother warned her never to cross at night. The one her grandmother said was home to the spirits older than time. Yet she stood by the riverbank, tears running down her face, not from the pain anymore, but peace in a whisper only the trees could hear. She said, perhaps the priest was right. Perhaps in this life, like Ifa said, I am only meant to have some, and maybe that some is my life, the very life that I breathe. And so this life shall return to Eledumare. With her final breath, she stepped into the river, weak and ready to surrender. Some says the water swallowed her like a secret. Others says she became one with it. The fisherman swam on a certain moonlight. They hear a woman's voice, humming lullabies, deep in the forest. The same lullaby she once sang alone in her hut, and the river where she vanished. No one dares to bathe there anymore. It is scared now. It is called Odo Aduke. She became more than a woman. She became a spirit, and no, we shall burn not out of vengeance, but of pain, karma, and quiet surrender. Perhaps in that other world, Aduke finally found peace. Or perhaps she waits, whispering to the woman like her, those who have loved deeply, lost greatly, and carry the weight of a life they can no longer remember. Aduke's name may be forgotten in the tongues of people, but the rivers remember her. If this tale stirred something in your spirit, share it. For stories like this are meant to travel and not to sleep. See you in my next